What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here on the run getting things done. I grabbed them ingredients for my son's spaghetti. And the weather is trash today, man. It was 71, 72 degrees yesterday. T-shirts and tanks weather. All right, people's out here with shorts on. And now today, not only is it cold, the weather I'm talking about something, it's gonna snow in a couple hours. What the hell? Think about that. We went from feeling like summer to feeling like winter, all in the span of 24 hours. How crazy is that for this Motor City weather? But let's get to the topic at hand. The divorce saga between Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor. You know, I saw she took to live because she was seeing the allegations of her being a gold digger, and she felt some kind of way about it. She went on there to defend herself, saying that she's protected him and people was trying to run his name through the mud. She was going online saying this and that in defense of him. Perhaps she was. I don't know anything about that, since I really wasn't following that stuff then. I wasn't even really doing this then. They're talking about popular culture. Wasn't doing this then, so I don't know. Perhaps she was. For those of you that were following this then, you guys let me know if she was doing that or not, because that's certainly what she's saying. She also said that she wanted to keep things private by using, initials. She didn't want to use a full name. She wanted to use initials to keep their divorce private. He suggested on doing, full names, which is why that's out there like that. She also said that Iman Shumpert basically leaked their divorce documents. So she felt some kind of way about that. She was saying that she was trying to protect him, keep things secret, and he the one that wants to expose everything. Well, I've got a few thoughts of that, and I'm gonna try to keep it objective. But in many cases, when it comes to divorces, when it comes to relationships ending, the man's name gets dragged through the mud, and his finances get dragged through the mud, and he has no voice. The woman does all types of going to social media. Now, I'm not saying this about her. I'm speaking generalizations. The woman goes to social media, giving a very skewed recount of things to elicit likes and support, all types of, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Just the usual BS that women typically do when they go to social media. Very seldom do women include the part where they did some whole shit. Right? They always make sure to expose the guy for everything that he did wrong or that they didn't like, but they very seldom include in the story time what they did to bring about certain things. They want you to believe he's a narcissist and such a horrible man, and they basically just turn into they life into a Tyler Perry script, where the biggest hardship of their life was loving a black man. So that's oftentimes the case when it happens in these situations. The man has no voice, and I don't know what his motivation was for using their full names, but maybe he did want that to be out there transparent. In the case of leaking the divorce documents, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But if he did, it just might have been due to the fact that he wanted people to see how he was getting done. Because as I said, the man in many cases has no voice. Men can't go to social media for sympathy the way that women do, because social media is largely overran with women, and women, even when the woman is wrong, are going to support other women just because. In many cases, these are women that have done ill stuff in their relationships, and if they were in the same setup that the woman is looking for sympathy, they would do equally underhanded stuff. So you have a divorce. You know, she's claiming that she was awarded stuff that she paid for. She didn't get nothing from him, yada yada. Well, you know, you might want to put a cease and desist or something like that against Shade Room, or put your lawyers on it for them to issue a retraction and an apology or something. If that is indeed true, that you didn't take this man to the cleaners and all you got was stuff that you paid for. I find that doubtful, which is why I don't believe she is going to take actions like that against the sites that are putting that out there. But that's what she's saying nonetheless. She's asking everybody to believe that basically she did nothing wrong in the relationship. He did whatever. Women are saying he cheated. I don't know. I don't know if he cheated or not. Maybe he did. I don't know. It's very possible you married a basketball player. Basketball players gonna have concubines. So maybe he did. Who knows? We're not in the middle of a marriage. But that's what the popular opinion is out there. I haven't seen any evidence of it personally. But the court of public opinion doesn't need evidence. It just needs its feelings, how it wants to feel about somebody at any given time. But that's pretty much it. You got her jumping online, defending herself, which in my opinion is just reputation management, which is oftentimes what women do. Women will do some ill stuff. They know it's some ill stuff, but they don't want it out there because they're worried about how it's going to make them look. They want to be free to do as much underhanded BS as they possibly can without it ever being, you know, exposed, because they're worried about how their reputation is going to look. It just goes, as I said, about the whole Facebook thing. They go on there spilling business, but only half of it. They make sure to tell everything under the sun that they feel like you did to make them feel some sort of way, but they always stop shy of telling what they did in the situation, because no one's in a relationship, not usually, with a person and they get married and they have kids and all that, and the person is just this narcissist that they would have you believe. It's not. And narcissism is not a common personality trait, yet somehow all these women, their exes, are narcissists. That there's a red flag in itself. That's a red flag if ever there was one. If there's a woman that goes from relationship to relationship, because she done moved on, she with the dude who played Mufasa. We'll see how that's gonna work. But she with the dude who plays Mufasa, you know, who knows? Things can end with them and he end up being a narcissist next. But when it's a woman that every past relationship, the guy was a narcissist, he was the problem, she never did anything wrong, that's somebody that you don't want to get involved with, because they are likely toxic and don't want to admit it. They want to stay within the realm of no accountability. So I'll leave it there. You guys let me know what you think. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.